Well, obviously something wasn't right. At that point, I was in a bad place in my relationship. I spent more time in my business than I do, myself. And, my business was bleeding money.
Joining us today on CallumConnects Micro-Podcast is Deano Delpleash. Deano is the creator of the Level Up Leadership Movement, and he's on a mission to make leadership sexy by helping 1 million high-performing coaches and entrepreneurs launch a six-figure business.
Have you ever felt like you were standing on the edge of a cliff, ready to jump off into the unknown? We all have. Now let me share a quick story with you about the first time I had my first taste of entrepreneurship, and it was one of the most exciting moments in my life, until one day I found myself on the 7th floor of my school dormitory. My hands were wrapped around the rails. I can still feel the wind of the 7th floor blowing on my face, and there was one word going through my head: jump, Deano, just get it over with. You want to end all the pain. Now, that was the first time I had a thought of killing myself. It's funny we have these thoughts, but at that point I know that something wasn't right. Well, obviously something wasn't right. At that point I was in a bad place in my relationship. I spent more time in my business than I do, myself. And, my business was bleeding money like wildfire. And on my best days, I spent my best days in bed just wishing for this feeling to go away. And I can remember one day scrolling through social media, I came across this speaker by the name of Jim Rohn, and it was as if he popped out the screen and he was speaking directly to me. And this is what he said: Deano, for things to change for you, you need to change. I was like, wow, he's right. And everything that I'm experiencing in my life is as a result of my experience, my efforts. But at that point, I didn't know exactly what to do. So I did exactly what every other human being would have done. I stayed in bed and I continued scrolling. And then he said this: Deano, learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your business. And that one hit me right in my chest, and I was like, ooh, why haven't anyone told this to me before? Or maybe they did and I didn't listen. But as you know, I didn't know what to do. I stayed in bed and I continued scrolling until he said this. This is what he said that made the difference. He said, Deano, don't let your learning lead to knowledge. Let your learning lead to action. And that's when I got the message. I realized that if things were gonna get better for me, I would need to take action and move. Yeah? And if you want to achieve more out of your business and out of your life as an entrepreneur, you need to shift gear to activate your fullest potential and become a high performer at whatever it is that you do. Let's take action, champion.
If you enjoyed this podcast and would like to find more inspiring information about entrepreneurs around the world doing incredible things, make your way to enterprisezone.cc.